got a broken television here, and it's not broken in the traditional way. It gets a little spicy, so we're here to cool it down. Let's do that together. Let's make awesome. Hey everybody, this is a little bit of an odd one. We've got an old television here that I'm gonna use as a monitor for our streaming rig. That way we can hang out here with you guys. Still trying to figure out the front-facing camera. Today we're using a DJI Osmo Pocket, which is great if we're not streaming. So I feel like I look okay, but I can't actually get a good clean HDMI signal out of it, which means we can't stream. We also have our top-down camera. We're gonna be working on this old television today. It is a Vizio 38-inch model number E371VL, so it might actually be a 37-inch. But it's got an overheating problem because, well, it hangs out in a garage in Florida. And if any of you understand garages in Florida, you might know they kind of suck. It is about 6 p.m. the day that I am recording this video, and it is 87 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So yeah, we'll put in Celsius right here what that is. Well, let's dive into this thing. I've got all the parts on the table. Let's do it. You see, well, on top of the TV or in front of it, depending on what you're seeing right now, an abundance of tools. And these tools will all be necessary, hopefully, to fix this poor whittle television. We've got a bunch of 5-volt fans. We've got an old USB cord. We've got some strippers. That's right, gentlemen. We brought the strippers. We've also got a nice little tiny butane micro torch. We've got some of these nice solder seal wire connectors. Don't trust these for like anything high voltage and like, you know, stuff you care about. This is 5 volts, it's fine. And some extra shrink tubing, little multi-pack shrink tubing. I love these things. As well as a nice dual temperature hot glue gun because, well, the world can basically run on hot glue, duct tape, baling wire, and I don't know, a little bit of lube somewhere here or there. We're gonna be real jank about this. At the end of the day, this just needs to work. I don't need it to look pretty. It doesn't matter what it looks like ultimately. We just care that it works. So we're going to install some fans down here on both sides and 2 fans right here. So we'll have, I think, probably, how many fans do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Of course we have an odd. No odd numbers. We'll do 5 on each side. That should be more than adequate. I actually rigged up this just to test it, to make sure that this idea would work. I don't actually know if it works on the television, but what I can tell you is this system does run. Now, we have tested that a box fan blowing on the back of this television will be totally fine. But I don't know anything further than that. So let's just dive into it. And yes, we could use zip ties, we could zip screw it in and all that jazz. Why? Like, seriously, why? There's no reason for us to go through all of that effort. You can see everything here is just kind of like twisted together. We're not gonna be doing that. So let's get all this stuff apart. All I'm doing right now is I am just removing the work that I had previously done, and that is just having the wires all kind of crimped together like this. And that was just to keep all this stuff together, but we're gonna end up putting probably 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. So I need to get another one of these ready to go. So we've got our cable. Some things to talk about here. Cutting the ends of your cables. Some people say, oh, keep the connector, keep the connector. Don't keep the connector. You say that all the time, and you end up with a bunch of random connectors. Just like my random segues to our sponsor, 3D Musketeers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are going to be self-sponsoring these videos until we get some awesome sponsors of our own to come out and help us make awesome. But that's what we do here at 3D Musketeers. We get your ideas out of your head and into your hands with full art-to-part rapid prototyping and product development, utilizing 3D printing and generally way less hot glue than you're about to see here. But enough about 3DM, of course, links in the description. Let's get into the actual build. I need to add one more fan. So we got the connector cut off. We're gonna grab our stripper here. And these are great, they auto adjust. You know, one little click and they're good. And I know a lot of you old timers be like, well, you could just use your teeth. You could. When was the last time you visited a dentist? The defense rests your honor. We're just gonna go ahead and do that. My last time visiting a dentist was last week. Cavity free, by the way. We're gonna go ahead and get this on there because we are going to use just a couple of those crimp connectors. I am currently deciding how we want to handle placing everything. Because we could do 2 separate USB cables, or we could just do one big one. If we do one big one, we'll have them come to the center or something, I don't know. I might need some extra wire, so I might have to go and get that, but it'll be a nice quick little fix for you guys and, you know, a few minutes of searching for me. But until then, we are basically ready to go ahead and start our hot glue here. So it doesn't take much to do it. A little dab will do ya. No, I'm watching you AVE people out there. Not the bigger the gob, the better the job, because likely you might want to remove this at some point. And yeah, if you put a bunch of hot glue on here, it ain't coming off. See, I have hot glue guns. I think hot glue is a very important part of any crafting job. All right, that should be good. I'm going through the wires to see which ones kind of make the most sense to be on here. This one looks good. We'll put you right about there. You also need to make sure that you know which way your fans blow. A lot of times that's on the fans themselves. Shouldn't be that bad for you to find. I trust that you will do your research. Also, be careful of your little fingies. This thing is hot and it can hurt you. We'll put the final fan over here. Now the idea is that fans should blow air up through here and out the top exhaust vents. And that's kind of the plan. The plan is to get it to go out the exhaust vents. I don't think we need a ton of air, right? I don't think it needs a lot. I think it just needs some air movement to kind of get over the blistering Florida heat. I have this thing on high. I'm gonna turn it down to low. Those are our 3 fans for the top. We'll put that one there. And again, they don't need much. They just need a little bit of... We don't want hot glue on our fan blades. That ends poorly. Now, we don't know yet if these fans work best when they are pushing or they are pulling. There are no specs on these. These are salvage fans that I've had from broken 3D printers and other projects. So they're just literally laying around. I don't even know if they all even work. Which is the funny part. I don't even know if they all friggin' work. But now we got to get these ones done. So we're just going to go and we're going to cut all their little ends off. It's fan apocalypse! We're cutting all the ends off. We're slashing prices! It is a little bit stormy outside, so if you hear some rumblings, I am kind of hungry, but it's not my tummy. It's thunder. It's Mother Nature. Mother Nature is hungry for some action! I'm just stripping all the wires right now, getting them to a usable length. And the nice thing about these is you can actually set the wire depth. I'm just kind of doing it by eye. It doesn't really matter all that much. We do have a little bit too much tension. This knob right here is your tension knob, so you can actually turn it down if you need to and remove some of your tension. I'm seeing that we're actually ripping out some of the wires. We don't want that. Wires are stripped. Now all we gotta do is just start twisting them. It doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're gonna be using some cold solder. Again, these are great. Do not use them in applications that you actually heavily care about because the likelihood of them failing can be quite high. High stress applications specifically. But again, this is just fans, okay? It's not that bad. It's my only fans. Actually, I have 2 other fans here. Oh, the bad jokes just keep on coming. All right, we got all of our negatives together. Now we just got to get all the positives together. Make sure red on red, black on black. That's what you want. Otherwise, you'll have a short. And yes, again, this is a bit of a break from our usually scheduled videos, but if you guys like this kind of stuff where I'm just kind of hanging out in the shop, if you will, you know, just kind of like an in the shop style video where we're just hanging out, talking shop, making cool stuff, let me know. This is a complete and utter guess. We do not know if this is going to work. It could work or it could be an absolute disaster. I don't actually know yet. Now, funny enough, this television actually has a USB port, and I believe, yep, the USB is over on this side, which of course is off of the top-down camera, but that's no big deal. All right, so are these all on there? They are. All right. We're gonna mimic it over on this side, and we'll get done. Quite frankly, the fan that fits best is this first one. It fits really well. Like, it covers the entire gap. This is definitely low temp hot glue. I just grabbed a random hot glue gun, a random hot glue that we have in the house. And if you want to be real fancy, deliberately over extrude and pull it down. That way you don't end up with any little dribbles. It actually ends up looking quite pretty beautiful. One last fan over here. And I am keeping in mind where the wires are going, right? We only have a short amount of wire to work with here. So I am trying to, you know, just be knowledgeable of where the wires are going. This is actually a really nice hot glue gun. I've never used this one. I can't find my favorite hot glue gun. It's actually the one that Adam Savage recommended, and it was actually a Christmas gift. I'm sure it's in the garage somewhere. I can't go looking for it on my own. Trust me. This garage is treacherous when you don't have, you know, a reasonably decent pair of working legs. I thought it was your back. It is my back, but it affects my legs too. All right, that one can go right there. Again, it don't gotta be pretty to be effective. That's what I tell myself every morning when I wake up. This would be cool if this actually works. If it doesn't work, I'm probably just going to go buy a $20 box fan and put it behind the television. Although, like, realistically, on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist and all that, you can get cheap, newer television. This TV is very old. It lived most of its life outdoors, and I think it's TCL board or TCM board, and it blew many, many moons ago, and it was given to me under the guise of if I could fix it, I could keep it. Your boy got himself a television, you dig? All right, so we actually have enough cable. Oh yeah, we'll have plenty of cable. Okay, so we're gonna cut this, we're gonna strip it all back, and we're gonna make it work. It looks like I forgot a tool. We also need a pair of side cutters. This was not something I was expecting. A lot of it you can do with the cutters on the stripper itself, but, you know, give yourself the room when you can. So right here, cut that off. Now this is a multi-layer cable, and I know it's got a jacket, so when we pull it off, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll kill the jacket too. Nope, no big deal though. Now, on a USB cable, there are 4, sometimes 5 cables. This one's a 5 cable. There's a copper cable, a green, a white, a black, and a red. The black and the red are the only 2 that we care about, although realistically, if you were powering this from your own source where you were doing your own pinouts, it could be whichever ones you want. In this particular case, what we are specifically interested in are the black and the red. Now, I didn't cut them off down here, but probably should. It looks like I should probably take a little bit more of this wire off. So let's do that. Got a trash can right below me. Very nice. Which is also where you can find all the information for these products. If you're looking to pick up any of the tools you see here, I'll have as many of them as I can possibly find linked in the description below, including the... I don't think I'd recommend buying this TV. It's quite old. Does it have a date of manufacture on it? Not that I can see. It might be on the serial number or the part number. Sometimes companies hide codes in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut these wires off because they're just gonna be a pain in the ass for me. And of course we have to do that again down there. And now, because this is our interconnect cable, goes between the 2, what we actually want to do is take this. I want to put some heat shrink on that. That is just, it keeps biting me. These little heat shrink packs are awesome. We buy ours on Amazon. And they're nice. They're little resealable packages, although you might choose to reseal it, you may choose not to. So it looks like a piece of black, probably do more than enough. Cut that bad girl in half. One side through, and then the fun part where you get to play with the fire. And now it's not gonna hurt me anymore. I did see it look at me funny though, but it shouldn't hurt me. Same deal over here, just not gonna take the chance, just gonna go ahead and put the heat shrink on it. Heat shrink's cheap. Tetanus shots are not. All right, so we have our interconnect cable. We're going to go ahead and get the negative attached here. And the positive. Again, for those watching, you might be looking at this and saying, oh my God, this is disgusting. You're right. Don't do this. I mean, you can if you want, but don't be an idiot. I'm not being an idiot. I'm just, you know, there are much smarter ways to go about this. This is not particularly what I would consider the smartest way. Because of this, we can just use these and just connect them in. We have to actually build like a junction over here, so we're gonna do that. Nice, good cut there. And there's lots of little bits of metal here, so I will be very certain to make sure that I blow all of this off really, really well with compressed air, because it is at my disposal, before we actually turn this thing on. Now, of course, we won't know if it works for a little bit. That is a-okay. I had a piece of red handy, so I'm gonna use a little piece of red on this. It doesn't really matter. Now, if you are doing lots of wiring projects, it's nice to have multicolors of your heat shrink tubing like we have here. I think it's very, very helpful. Hold that there. Beautiful. All right, we are ready to use these pieces. Now, something to note about these connectors. They are not great. They are perfect for something like this where, you know, you've got to do some low voltage stuff. It's not high amperage. There's not a whole lot of risk to it. They're fine for this. But under no circumstances do we recommend this to do, you know, like legitimate electronic work. So inside of them, and I'll use one of the big ones to show you guys. Inside, you've got some clear heat shrink tubing. You've got some blue on this one, which is glue. And then in the center, you have some cold melt solder. Cold melt solder is very specific in that, wait for it, it melts cold. All right, so for these connectors, put them on. That one's actually a little too small. We gotta go with one that's a little bit larger. Now they are various sizes, and of course, you know, kind of given how they were manufactured, you'll have some tolerances in here. Now there are some ways to cheat on the wiring. We might do them. Just because there is a lot of wire here to deal with. The size red, I think, is the right size here. Yeah, that'll work. Now we will likely have to cut this side down some. And that's because this wire is quite short, but for the purposes of what we're doing, again, this will be more than adequate. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna put the heat on this glue ring first here. Ow, it's still quite warm. Glue ring is on that one, so we can just slide this one in without too many issues. Hopefully. Okay, we're gonna move the black wire out of the way since we're about to heat the snot out of it. Eventually, there it goes. The little solder bead basically pops. And now we have effectively a semi-permanent connection. There's really no easy way for that to... Now, these are quite warm, so you can blow on them to cool them down. Or you can just not deal with it. It's up to you. I'm not here to judge you on how you live your life. On these cheap ones, it definitely seems like there's one side that's bigger than the others, so... You're doing something like this where you have a lot of wires going into considerably less wires. it is very useful to utilize that to your advantage. Also, now that I think about it, I'm probably gonna put this on the other side so that we don't have to deal with all the fans and the size of what that connector is going to be. I have to cut this side down as well. No big deal. Heat. And again, the heat gets these little glue dots down. The little glue dots keep the wires from moving. Woo! Nice and hot. Okay. I can't move the, I guess I can move the television. Cool. All right, move the television over just a little bit. I'm gonna take these off because it's just gonna complicate the whole darn thing. I don't want to be dealing with that any more than I already have. We are going to add them over here on this side. Now for wires, we can if you guys want to learn how to do wiring, just let me know. This is really just a, hey, Grant has to do a weird project, bring you along with me. But if you actually want to have series on how to do this kind of stuff, let me know. I'm happy to do it. I just don't know if a lot of our viewers are also interested on the electronic side of things. If you guys are, awesome. We are, finishing up an electronics workstation set, just a top-down singular camera. You'll never see my face. I know some of you are rejoicing, but you'll never see my face. It'll just be all about electronics, whether that's soldering projects, whatever it may be, just electronics related stuff. Same deal over here. We got to cut these a little bit short because we did not cut enough metal, enough wire, I guess would be the right way to say that. And because we have kind of both of them available, I might as well put both of these sides on now. Makes life a little bit easier. So I can just hold them down, try not to burn myself. All right, we'll do one at a time, because clearly 2 at a time does not work well for me. Well, that was just dumb. You burned your wires. No problems. No problems is what it is. Next set goes on. Pull these apart a little bit to give us some more room. Again, for all you electricians watching, this is low voltage. Leave me alone. Don't at me. Although, if you want to comment, you can. Because if there's a better way, which I'm sure there is, I'd love to talk. I was going to solder this, like that. My plan from the beginning was to solder, but ultimately we decided against that just because, 1, this is faster, 2, it's way less work, and 3, it is already stupid degrees in my garage. I didn't want to heat it up with having a hot soldering iron. I know, I have the hot glue gun running. Never said I was perfect. Amber's perfect. By the way, she helped me with an unboxing recently. You guys should go check that out. And actually, Amber got the television on the table for me before she left for work. So, A+. This is why I like her. She's pretty great. Again, this is always the fun part when the solder wicks. It's always the fun part. All right. Theoretically, we're done. Now, what I should have done is put some heat shrink and stuff on this, but I just don't care. Not right now. Make sure all your reds and blacks are together. It appears that they are. I mean, if not, you'll know pretty quickly when you turn the TV on. I am going to add some more hot glue onto these fans. As you can see, some of them decide they want to move. Thankfully, hot glue is really just there as a means to temporarily hold things. We don't really need that where we're going. We're going to go up to high temp for this. I think the high temp will stick a little bit better. I don't know if it does, it's just a theory, but if it does, hey, we're gonna find out. Now, if I wanted to be really smart about this, I would have also laser cut some brackets to basically cover these, the openings that we still have. But I'm not gonna worry about it all too much. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Awesome. All right. Oh, got that on the wrong side. So, and I didn't even need the other stick of hot glue. I brought a brand new stick of hot glue. I didn't even need it. That's the best part. Making sure that all the fans aren't wiggling. The wiggle's gonna make them loud. So we do have no power here. Cool beans. All right, so now we need to turn the television on, which I handily have the power cord right here. Let's see if she pops and lets the smoke out. Hey, Macarena! I got a bunch of fans running. And I don't think they're running very fast. Oh yeah, no, the TV is not really able to move these very fast. Especially the ones down here. They are definitely not moving very quickly. Make sure all my connections are correct and I'm not shorting any of them out. Because the ones here have a lot more power than the ones... Yeah, I don't know. Little bit of doubt from this. I do, however, have like some 5-volt power cords if we wanted to actually wire it into a 5-volt power cord. Now they are running, which I guess was kind of the intent of all of this. Now we'll basically have to see if collectively these produce enough air to keep the system cool. Now I don't know if it's going to produce a lot of air at all, but again, I don't think we need a ton of air. I think we just need a light amount of airflow. And I think that's all this is going to give us. I don't think we're gonna get a lot more than a very light level of airflow here. Yeah, I can see in the lights that the fans over here are spinning considerably slower. Like, I can stop them with my hands slow. Interesting. So we're probably getting very close to overdrawing the 5-volt rail on the television. That is okay. I do have an air compressor nozzle close by, and I have my air compressor hose, and I have a little bit of air left in it, so let's just blow off the television real quick. Now, Grant, shut all your little containers full of little things that you don't want to go little flying. Because this stuff's about to go out everywhere. Air compressors are fun. Make sure the fans actually spin. Other thing is I thought maybe the fans have some crap in them that's causing them to spin slow. These fans might also be absolute garbage. Some of them I know don't have the happiest of happy lives. But, I mean, we're done. As far as I'm concerned, we're done, so... Awesome. A little bit of a weird video, I know. But hey, I never promised to be regular, did I? I always promised for crazy, awesome stuff. But yeah, cool tools. We used a stripper, diagonal cutters, some shrink tubing assortments, these awesome little solder and seal connectors, hot glue gun, of course some hot glue. Don't know where that, oh, the big friggin' tube of hot glue, a micro torch. Yeah. Didn't need a lot of tools. It doesn't take much to resurrect old electronics and make them good again. Old televisions, even though they might be broken, might not be all that expensive to fix. So if you are electronically savvy and you like to mess around, go on to Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Kijiji, whatever. Find yourself a fun little electronics project, but for the love of God, set a budget and stick to it. Because if this doesn't work, probably just gonna go buy a TV for like 50 bucks off of Craigslist, because the $20 box fan for a 37 or 38 inch television, why I can get a 40, I think there was a 45 on there the other day for 50 bucks with no remote. The remote was $7. Like, that's a better value long term, and it's also not this big chungus of a television. It was a much, much smaller unit. So yeah, that's all I really got for you guys today. I know a bit of an odd one. I know, a little odd, but that's okay. I never said we're just 3D printing. We do a lot of DIY stuff here, and I figure, at least for the weird DIY projects I have, I should bring you guys along and hang out. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know down in the comments. Hopefully the top-down camera did its thing. Hopefully everything looked good, guys. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. Bit of an update for you guys on the television project. I'm actually filming a video right now all about tools. We'll card to that video. And the TV died as I'm filming the video. It has completely thrown me off, but I figure I would grab another camera and actually film this one real quick for you guys so you can see it. And hilariously, we're still recording on the main camera, so we'll have to like put these together so you guys can see it. And of course, there's the top down, so you can see from the top down as well. But yeah, the TV died. So those little 5-volt fans, definitely not strong enough. I think we're gonna have to do a part 2. Or not, I don't know. But I think we're gonna go to 12-volt fans next, although I'm saying that I should just go get a different television. It's just a great excuse to go buy a cheap television from the internet, so. Anyways, not the greatest one, but it did work for something like 15 or 16 hours without overheating, and it is a little bit toasty today. So currently it says it is 87 degrees outside, and that means it is at least 87 in this garage. So is what it is. Things happen. This is just part of making. We're gonna get this thing figured out. You all are gonna come along with me. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like attempting to resurrect dead electronics, make sure you leave a like and get subscribed. Comment down below. Is this a waste of time or is this just kind of fun? I enjoyed it. Hopefully you did as well. Right below me is gonna be a playlist all about 3D printing because we know that's what a lot of you are here to learn about and hang out and talk about. And we'll also have video that is specifically catered just for you. Stay safe out there. I will see you guys in the comments. Take care.